Hi y'all, this is Michelle with Southern Shell, and I am coming to you today with another Talk It Out Tuesday. And today I'm going to talk about John 15. And John 15, 5 through 8 on the Message reads, I am the vine, you are the branches. When you are joined with me and I with you, the relation intimate and organic, the harvest is sure to be abundant. Separated, you can't produce a thing. Anyone who separates from me is dead wood, gathered up and thrown on the bonfire. But if you make yourselves at home with me and my words are at home in you, you can be sure that whatever you ask will be listened to and acted upon. This is how my Father shows who he is when you produce grapes, when you mature as my disciples. Now, dead branches don't produce fruit. Dead branches don't require pruning. They are just cut off completely and thrown away. Pruning is not only for branches, but also for people. If I am in a season of pruning, it's because I'm connecting with Jesus and I'm growing, and you're changing, and he's making me into something beautiful, something richer, something better than what I already was. But I'm going to share some things here. If I am being pruned, that can be painful. And so one of the things that kind of came to my heart was like a house plant. Now, if you have a house plant that has some leaves dropping, or has a branch that isn't doing so well, it's a little withered, then I usually will cut that branch off, or maybe that branch has been pulled off by a baby. And I can stick that into some water, and it may root, it may not. But one of the things that came into my vision, into my head, was taking that house plant and putting it into the water, but removing it from the plant itself. Well, what happens is if your plant has some dead or struggling leaves on it, that part of the plant is just pulling the nutrients. You can see the roots here, and they're all coming onto this main branch. But if this leaf over here is struggling, it is pulling the nutrients away from the rest of that plant. And if I don't remove that leaf, then the rest of the plant is going to suffer. It is going to not get what it needs because everything is going to that one area. Now, I'm going to read you something that I wrote down, because I think that, sometimes when I write it and sometimes when I try to say it, it just doesn't come across quite the same. I'm going to be using some alcohol markers today as I color this picture. I have different brands. This one is Firefly, and it's called Warm Gray. Anyway, let me read this first. Okay, if I'm being pruned, let's see if I can get this up here. If I am being pruned, the parts of me that are being trimmed off are what the Lord is removing. In my vision, I see a house plant. Sometimes the plant has a broken branch. I usually will remove it and will place it in a cup of water. And I was reminded, like the house plant, whatever part of my life that was, the seed of the Lord is in there. Now I need to let it go. It got rooted away from where it was cut off from, away from me. It may take root in the water, it may not. I need to let it go, let it get rooted someplace else. I've already planted that seed. we've already shared with the Lord. It's going in there. So if I have to pull that away and put it in the water, the Lord has already been shared, already been rooted in there. And so now it's away from me. If a plant has leaves or a branch that has already started to wither or it has dead leaves on it, that part of the plant draws nutrition from the rest of the plant, trying to get better, to heal. The rest of the plant can suffer or become weak because everything that it has is going to fix the sick part of it. If that part gets cut off, it should develop roots on its own if placed in water. Once the roots have developed, it will need planter, no longer relying on the plant it was cut from, but having its own root system, its own relationship with the Lord. Some people in our lives need to be pruned away from us, away from me. They need to be planted in a new pot so they can rely on the Lord, not on us. And in the Message it says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch that is in me that beareth not fruit, he has taken away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he cleanseth it so that it may bear more. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, so neither can ye, except ye abide in me. And that was American Standard, so it was a little more difficult to understand. But what kind of came across in my heart was that if I have a relationship in my life that is not healthy and it is drawing nutrients away from me, that, sometimes I need to just let go and let God. That I have to come in and just say, enough is enough. The Lord has pulled this away from me and I need to let it go. God is already in them. The seed has already been planted in their life. And so now I need to let it go so that it stops drawing on my strength. It stops. If it's a new leaf on a plant and it just needs to be there, but that's what you need. It comes out. But once this part of you, this relationship has grown and they're still trying to draw, it will deplete you. You need to sometimes just let those go and let them be on their own. So that's what this plant has just come to my mind, is because sometimes we have toxic relationships in our lives and we continue just to let them be there. And sometimes the Lord is trying to get you to prune them away, to get them away from you so that they're not pulling your nutrition, your nutrients away. And it needs to be pruned. So I'm going to go ahead and just color here. I'm using some alcohol markers, and I'm going to get this picture done, and I'm going to put some music on while I color, and I hope that you all enjoy this. Okay, so I have here my plant, and I have here extra leaves. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these on here, give it a little bit of some dimension. The leaves on here. I cut out a few flowers, but I'm not sure if I'm going to put those on. I may do something else with the flowers. But, you know, just remember, you know, when you have relationships in your life, that sometimes the Lord needs us to be pruned from those relationships. And sometimes, you know, you have to pay attention which parts of those relationships are done, you know, which parts are on the ground needing to be pruned. You know, we need to pay attention to what the Lord has in store for us. I'm gonna use some little pop dots here. I think that sometimes it's hard to allow those relationships to be pruned away, to be cut off, the dead branches. If there is a relationship that is a dead branch on you, the Lord needs you to cut it away. And the Lord needs to cut it away. And we need to be careful on what we hold on to. I used this floral dye here, and if I can find, it's on one of my, I believe this are some of my tonics, and it was on the same tray as my tonics, so I'll check and make sure that that's a tonic and not a Spellbinders. But I used the dye, and I cut out some vellum, and I'm going to create some little flowers to go on here. So I'm just going to use a dab of glue right in the center of the base. Now with vellum, the adhesive will show through, so I am going to be putting some gems in the center of those. I'll offset these just a little bit. I colored, not sure if I'm going to use those or not, in the center and then put another one on top. I may do that, I may not. I think that'd be okay, just a little pop of color in there. And then one more layer on top with the plain vellum and die cut. I'm using my art glitter glue. Now this is just an embossing by EK Success, and it has a little bit of give to it. And of course I'm using it on this, it's actually a Cuttlebug foam mat. Now I'm going to go ahead and find some gems. Like those little pink ones. I think I'm going to continue with the pop dots. There you have it. I do apologize with the voice on this video, but I do hope you enjoyed this video, and remember that when you're being pruned, it is because the Lord is ready for you to blossom and grow further, and that the fruit that you are producing has the potential to be even better. And if something is draining and sucking you dry, that needs to be cut off, and the Lord's going to show you that. And just know that He's in control. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.